Hi, welcome back to Flowgorithm tutorials. In this video we're going to talk about Boolean data type, which is the last one we're going to examine, and as a data type. A Boolean data type, as it is explained in the Flowgorithm website in the documentation part, it can store either true or false values. It's like an answer to a question, either yes or no. So we're going to be using Booleans to check a condition in general, and mostly they are used in functions. So we're going to be writing a small application to check if the person at a valid age to vote or not. Okay, so for that reason, for that actually decision, we're going to use one particular function which is going to return a Boolean data type, Boolean value, true or false. So let's design our solution first as an algorithm, right? So as usual, we're going to do type our algorithm here and then code it in Flowgorithm here. Okay, let me format the font a little. Larger font will be much better. Anyways, this application will check if a person old enough to vote. Okay, first we're gonna ask user his or her name. Second, ask user his or age. And then third one, call the function. Let's give it a name right now. The function will be function name will be check age. Okay, call the function check age, and it's gonna take one parameter, which is the user age. Okay, so how it works, when we call the function check age, it will return, this function will return true if user is 18 or older, and it will return false if user younger than 18. And then lastly, we will check the returning value. If true, print a message like you can vote. If false, print a message like you need to wait X years, or just you need to you cannot vote yet. Okay, this is the algorithm. I know this is a very simple application. It doesn't do much, but it will serve the purpose. The purpose here, our goal is here to use Boolean data type. Okay, so I'm gonna put my comments, or just copy all the stuff as a comments. The first one will be this, ask user name. Second one will be ask user age. Okay, and then the third one is gonna be calling the function. For that reason, we're gonna create the function. And the last one is gonna be checking the returning value, the Boolean value, and then print a message accordingly. Okay, so in the main part we're gonna ask user the name, right? Let's deal with the first name only, so we don't need to make the application larger. So we're gonna ask user, what is your name? And then we need to store that information, because at the end, let me change this a little. Hi, for example, John, you can vote. Hi, John, you cannot vote yet. Something like that. So I'm gonna use the name in the message. That's why I want to store this information, store the name. So I'm gonna need a declaration to store that name, and the name is a word, that's why it's a string. And then read it from the keyboard. The user will enter this name, right? So as an input, read it from the keyboard and then save it to the variable name. We're gonna do the same for the age, right? So ask user, how old are you? We could ask the date of birth, which requires calculation, right? For example, if it is 1991, 2019 minus 1991, so we can get the age in that way too. But we're just gonna ask, how old are you? Okay, and then we need a variable to hold that value as age, and age can be only integer. And then we're gonna read it from the keyboard and save it to the variable age. Now I have the user's name and age. Now I'm supposed to call the function check age, right? But I don't have this function, so I need to create that function and click on that function manager and then add the function, and the name of the function will be check age, and it will take one parameter which is user age. Okay, and that will be obviously an integer value, and then click OK, and then it will return a Boolean. That's where we use our Boolean data type, and the returning variable name will be results. Okay, and then done. So as you see, whatever variable I'm returning, it is created automatically. I did not do that. I did not add a Boolean result, because the application knows that I'm going to use this result variable, which is a Boolean data type. It just inserted automatically. So what do I do with the inside this function? Okay, since this function will check the user's age against compared with 18, if it is equal to 18 or larger than 18, then it will return true. So the result will be equal to true. So let's do it. So we're just gonna put an if statement here, and condition for the if statement, user age is bigger, greater, or equal to 18. Okay, so this is actually a question. Every if statement, we're going to talk about this if shape later on. Every statement inside the diamond, a condition, it returns true or false. And if it is true, that means the user age is larger or equal to 18. In this case, we're going to assign the value result true. Okay, and if it is not, if the person is younger, then the result value will be false. I'm sorry, result is false. So how it works, for example, I send 20 as the user's age here. So 20 is larger than 18, so it will go this way, true, and then the result will be equal to true, and then result will be returned from the function. Okay, if it is, for example, 9, user age is smaller than 18, so this is a question: is user age larger or equal to 18? The answer is no, in other words false. Then we will assign the false value to result and then return it right here. So now we have our function, and before we test it, we're going to call the function here, add it into the main. So we are going to add it to main, and I think we need to make a declaration for the incoming value to make things easier. Let me go and not use a declaration first. Okay, so delete this. Okay, I'm going to add another if statement here and type here if check age with the user's age that I used right here, I entered here, which and saved it in the variable age. If this is equal to true, if it is true, in this case I am going to print a message: hi, and the name of the person, right? What was the name variable we used up here? Okay, I cannot see it, but I think it was name. Hi, and comma, and you can vote. Okay, and if the returning value from the function is true, that means the age is valid, and then you can vote. And we're gonna say, we can actually copy this, right? Copy and paste, and in this case we will say you cannot vote. Okay, so, and this is actually cut here and then paste it here because we are doing 3 and 4 at the same time. Okay, now let's run the application and then see if the Boolean data type is allowing us to use as a value and create a checkpoint, some sort of checkpoint, right? What is your name? John. How old are you, John? Let's say 18. Oops, result was not declared. We have a problem. Yes. You see that, I actually put everything before the declaration, so it shouldn't be like that. It should be before. We had to declare our variables before we use it. So now I fixed the problem, I believe, and then go back and then run again. John and 18. Yes, hi John, you can vote. And run again. Let's see, let me make it larger. And this time I'm gonna use a different age. Let's say 9 years old. You cannot vote. Alright, and then use different names. You see that I'm trying to test my application with different data. So Kelly is 20 years old, can vote, and Kelly is 10 years old, cannot vote. So I go back to the function again one more time to show you how did I use the Boolean data type. The Boolean data type, it can have true or false values, and that value is mostly used in functions like this as a return type, and according to the return type we can actually use the value to make a decision. This is one way to do that. Instead of putting check age function call inside the if shape, we could actually create another variable, and then let's say check result. Okay, and we in this case I want to use this variable to grab the returning value from the function, right? What is the returning data type? It's Boolean, so this variable will be a Boolean. So I will just make an assignment, saying that check result is actually check will receive the value from check age function. All right, so once I do that, I can actually change this. If check result is true, you see that I'm using two equal signs here. You need to know the difference. One equal sign means an assignment, two equal signs means a condition check. So now it is much clearer, right? Check result is a function call. The variable gets its value from a function call, and then that value is used inside the if. So I'm going to test it one more time. John 18, you can vote. Kelly 8, you cannot vote. So that concludes our video. Now we know what is a Boolean data type and how we can use them in our applications. Thanks for watching.